Does anyone want to address the issue that his girlfriend is still with him, that he's just told me that he's sexually attracted to children, and that before this came out, they were thinking about having children? I'm assuming that once he's released from prison, they're still going to be having children. Does anyone want to address that issue? Court is calling 2022 CR 11918W, State of Texas versus Jacob Nathaniel Glandon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Oscar Salinas.
For the defense?
Kurt Francie.
And are you Mr. Glandon?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 4 years. This looks to be $1,000 fine. There are no applications. The state is taking in consideration CM numbers 96675 and 96677. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
Right, and according to the plea bargain agreement, the defendant entered a plea of no contest to possession of child pornography. It is a cap of 4 years. State, is there anything you wish to argue? Do you have any witnesses?
State would reserve for rebuttal, Judge. No witnesses. Just-
All right, defense, do you have any witnesses?
Well, no, Your Honor, I do have a report. I'll just like to enter for, put in the record from his treatment provider that he was attending. It's just 2 paragraphs describing what he did. So I'd like it to be in the record so that parole, if they get the records, we have this.
All right, any objections to defense exhibit 1?
No.
All right, if you'll have it marked.
Marked for defense exhibit number 1, which is a 2-paragraph report from Mark Harris, just describing the treatment that Jacob underwent from day 1. Jacob was
All right, defense, just a moment. Defense exhibit number 1 then is admitted without objection. Any other witnesses or evidence?
no witnesses or evidence. Right?
All right, defense, the court will hear argument.
Judge, from day 1, Jacob was remorseful. Even upon his arrest, he was very upfront with the officers, which is kind of unusual, I think, in these cases, is that you have somebody that right from day 1 takes responsibility and wants to better himself. He's was in the military. I think he served in Afghanistan. He's had kind of a tumultuous upbringing. I think that may have contributed, but we don't know that whether it contributed, but he had a very tumultuous upbringing, moving all the time, unable to establish probably good relationship with people because of his moving. And upon this arrest, basically admitted to the officers. Right away wanted to go into treatment, went into treatment. And seems to really even acknowledge that it was helpful to him. He's gained some insight into his issues. And he acknowledges that he didn't at the time understand the harm this was causing other people. And I think that's one of the benefits of the treatment, is that he realized the harm it was causing.
I don't in the PSI report, he says this is the fetish.
Well, yeah, but that's his description. You can see when he talks to the counselor, he realized in the PSI, he does say he realizes that the harm it was causing, he didn't realize at the time, but now he does. Actually, you say whether I have a witness, I'd like to call actually.
All right,
Jacob. Jacob, is there anything you'd like to?
all right, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jacob Landon.
All right, defense.
Jacob, if you could, you kind of if you could for the judge, just describe after the offense, what actions you took and so forth to try to gain insight into what was going on with you in your life. So forth.
Talked a lot with my family, fiance. I was open with them about it and agreed therapy was best. They're very supportive of the decision. Therapy opened my eyes to a lot of it. I learned a lot about the pathology and physiology behind the decision. We started with Mark Harris. I started doing like a healthy sexuality workbook, and they're doing weekly meetings. I thought it was very helpful.
You could tell us where were you working prior to this arrest? What were you doing? What was your career?
I was a EMT and a nurse with the Air Force. I worked at Wolford Hall here on Lackland. I've been doing that for 10 years since right out of high school.
Did you serve it all overseas?
Yeah, I went to Afghanistan for about 7 months.
And obviously what effect has this had on you?
It's destroyed it. I've lost absolutely everything. My discharge was on March 8th. I mean, not March 8th, December 8th, just this past month. This is very rough. I didn't realize how much my actions were going to cost me until it was all gone.
Do you have anything else you want to say to the court?
No, I'm sorry. I realize what I've done, and I know it was a mistake. I don't have any way to actually make up for my actions, but if I could, I would.
Well, it wasn't a mistake. It was a
Yes,
choice.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. As a nurse, what unit were you assigned to?
59 in DUS. I was working in the ER last.
Were you working closer near kids?
Yes, sir.
When did you realize or become aware that you were sexually attracted to children?
Probably a couple of years ago. Just gradual progression from pornography to more deviant versions of pornography. It's not something I acted on in July.
No further questions.
Nothing further.
All right, the girlfriend who's supporting him, does she have children?
No, we were talking about kids prior to all this, but things were delayed, obviously.
Okay. Anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
State will just reserve for rebuttal to argument.
All right. The according to the plea bargain agreement, it's a cap of 4 years.
Yes, Judge. I would ask the court to at least consider going down from the 4 years. I think it was a little unusual in my experience having a client that from initial meeting to the whole case was very remorseful and very never in a denial situation of what was evolving and so forth, which I think is pretty unusual in these type cases to want to get on top of it and look into it and understand himself. I would just ask the court to consider a 3-year sentence.
All right. Does anyone want to address the issue that his girlfriend is still with him, that he's just told me that he's sexually attracted to children, and that before this came out, they were thinking about having children? I'm assuming that once he's released from prison, they're still going to be having children. Does anyone want to address that issue?
Can you address it?
I don't know what to say to that, ma'am. That's like I said, there's nothing I would ever act on. It's nothing I ever planned to act on. It was
Well, I mean, you testified that it was a progression for you.
just ma'am.
So what's the next progression?
Hopefully nothing, ma'am. I'm trying to seek treatment and better myself and correct my behavior. And
Because I think that we may be jumping way ahead of the fact that I think it's at least probably from a uninterested party looking at this, that is the fact of whether his girlfriend will even be around when he gets out of prison, I think is speculative. And he is trying to was going to counseling, will probably continue counseling after he gets out.
Well, I do have to consider future safety.
Yeah.
There are plenty of women out there with children who want to hang their star to whomever they hang their star to. All right.
Statutorily, he'd also be a lifetime sex offender registered.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, but. All right, is there anything else?
Yes, Judge, just to point out, to kind of piggyback off what Mr. Grancy said, as soon as the case was brought over to me, they immediately came to me and were looking for a resolution and take responsibility. That's the reason for the cap of 4 years, Judge. It wasn't dragged out. The only reason why the case took a while to get in front of you is for my schedule and Mr. Grancy's schedule conflicting over the course of time. But as the court heard from testimony, he participated in this marketplace of going and obtaining sexually explicit, sexually abused material of children. He's also made an admission that he has an attraction towards that. State feels that a 4-year sentence is appropriate in addition to the lifetime registration.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, taking in consideration CM numbers 96675, 96677, and there's chapter 62 registration. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with, oh, he needs to have it. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, oh, he keeps that. You do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You need to continue with treatment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there something for me to sign?
Yes, I will get that for you right now, Judge. Additionally, we agreed that the destruction of the devices that contain the sexually explicit material would be destroyed.
Yeah.
Now that
All right, thank you. Are y'all ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2019 CR 8528, State of Texas versus Arthur Scarborough. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villery off the state.
Matt
Okay.
Stolhansky from Mr. Scarborough.
And are you Mr. Scarborough? Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Arthur Scarborough who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8528 for the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child on March 28, 2022 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes.
State?
Violated conviction number 13B on or about the 24th day of August 2022 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Arthur Etoku Scarborough, defendant there failed to comply with the instructions of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Sex Offender Program, and that the defendant failed to comply with the instructions of Lone Star Offender Treatment Program, his court order sex offender treatment program, and that the defendant was suspended from sex offender treatment for failing to admit responsibility for his offense in violation of condition number 13.
How do you think to that? True or not true?
True. And the state would waive and abate the remaining allegation.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 13B, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you to life in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to 13B?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find 13B true. Is there an agreement?
There is not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
So this is a case where I think Mr. Stolhansky would like to present first potentially, because it really are part of our argument is going to depend on the potentially new willingness to admit certain culpabilities. And so, from the state's perspective, if he's willing to take some responsibility, that might lend itself to him being continued on probation with some type of like ISF. But if he's not, then the issue becomes for us is what do we do with this person who is not willing to be rehabilitated and cannot be in our community without being rehabilitated.
I don't believe ISS will accept him.
Probation, the sex offender, the SOMU that was their original recommendation. So
Okay,
I think they would, based on that, but the court is much more knowledgeable on those aspects. than I
Well,
am.
you know, I mean, we're all open to learning things. Probation, if you can look into that, and defense, do you have a witness to call?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. I would call Mr. Scarborough.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, you're gonna need to speak up.
Arthur Scarborough.
All right, defense.
Hold on. Is this the microphone here? Was it better if I put it here?
No, just everyone just speak up.
That's great. Mr. Scarborough, you understand why you're here?
Yes.
Okay, and the, at the I'm brainstorming. The polygraph, they said that you denied liability or culpability, is that correct?
Yes.
So did you ever deny that this thing happened?
No.
And tell the court what you're thinking of this.
At the time, I didn't want to believe that it happened. But I accept 100% responsibility, not partial responsibility. I accept 100% responsibility.
And so it was about who instigated the start of this.
Right.
Because when you took your polygraph, you said that she was as much of an aggressor as you were. That's not true.
That's not true.
And that you were
I
You
was the
instigated.
aggressor and I accept responsibility.
and that was the reason that he was expelled from the program.
State, do you have any questions?
Maybe true.
So I just want to make sure that I'm clear and I'm understanding is that you reported initially to your sex offender provider that this was unwanted and not provoked or initiated by you. Do you remember telling her? You did say that.
Yes,
And are you telling this court now that that statement is not true?
that's not.
Okay, that you did, that this was wanted and that it was provoked by you?
Right.
Okay.
I've had a lot of time to think it over, especially while I was incarcerated for 61 days, and then I'm on house arrest for the 35 days. And I realize that I am the one that's at fault.
Okay. Do you remember having a conversation with your sex offender provider, Ms. Vicki Elliott, and her giving you that opportunity to say the truth?
Yes, and at that time, I didn't want to believe that that was the truth.
And isn't it true that when she confronted with you about this and letting you know that you'd be exited from the program and that you would potentially have an MTR, that you still at that point decided that you weren't willing to take responsibility?
I did take responsibility, and I told her at that time that I accept 100% responsibility. But I still stuck to the story that I wasn't 100% at fault as the aggressor. But I realized after thinking it over for so much time that I'm 100%.
Okay. But you
I
also,
accept the responsibility, and I wish to continue the truth.
and you understand there's a distinction between, it's not really taking responsibility to say that a child provoked this, right? That's not really taking responsibility. You understand that? So when you said initially you took responsibility, that's not really taking responsibility.
When I talked to the counselor after I felt the part.
I'm sorry? I can't hear you.
When I talked to the counselor after I failed the polygraph test, I did take 100% responsibility.
Okay.
But for her, that wasn't a good enough answer.
So you're still, you saying that it happened, but that the child provoked it and that it was
No.
unwanted is taking
No.
100% responsibility.
No, that's not.
Okay.
I accept 100% responsibility. The child did not.
I'll pass it.
Any other questions?
Pardon?
Any other questions?
I just want the court to know, tell the court about your health issues that we're dealing with.
My health issues, I have a terminal illness called cystic fibrosis that affects my lungs, mainly my digestive system and sinuses. I have chronic sinusitis.
Which is why you're wearing the mask.
Yes, that can't be around. I'm real leery of germs. I have ulcerative colitis and I have obstructive sleep apnea, where I have to be on a CPAP machine. All of those things that I
didn't get the proper medications and things like that when I was incarcerated. And I don't want to go through that again.
And other than that one violation, you're behind a little in the money because you didn't pay while you
While I
were,
was incarcerated. Yes.
but other than that, there are no new offenses.
No new offenses.
And that you are the transportation for your mother,
Yes.
and your mother goes to the doctor, hospital, at least once a week.
A couple times a month to the pharmacy as well, to the, I think, for grocery shopping. She's gonna be 88 years old in a couple months. I'm the primary caregiver, which I've not been able to do for the last 95 days, since I was locked up and in a house.
And she lives on your street
She lives 100 yards from me, but I can't go and see her
because of the month.
because of the monitor, well, house arrest. And I'm the one who takes care of her. My sister has had to take off work and suffer financial loss because of that.
All right, anything else?
One further question. Judge.
Yes.
Did you have cystic fibrosis when you committed this offense?
Yes, I was born with just
Okay.
the genetic terminal illness.
I have no further questions, but I just wanted to make the board aware that Miss Vicky Ellie is here. If the board has any questions for her, as far as probation is concerned.
All right, would you like to call Miss Elliott? Events?
No, man,
Okay. All right. Any other witnesses from either side?
no, man.
State, what are you requesting?
Judge, I'm going to request that this court revoke his supervision at this point. You've prosecuted cases, you have defended cases. I think this is a clear case where he still is. He's saying, well, I took 100% responsibility afterwards, but that's just not the case. That's why we're here. That's why he pled true, is that he didn't take responsibility. And that there is the inability at this point for the state to do anything other to ensure that our community is safe from him potentially reoffending. And that would be the place in a corrections department so that he can't have access to children. This is a case that, obviously the state recommended initially, but that was, the court's aware that we do that in certain circumstances due to victim cooperativeness and really times taking consideration the further well-being of victims. I think he was given an opportunity. He continues to not take this seriously or make good efforts in progressing his treatment. And so we're going to ask the court to revoke his community supervision and sentencing.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
And Your Honor, we're asking that you leave him on probation. He's done 60 days in jail. He's been on monitor for 30, house arrest for 30 days, 30 something days. That he completely admitted today in open court that he was the aggressor, wasn't the child's fault in any way. I'm not sure what the state was speaking of when he said he's not accepting responsibility. He's telling you that he did it, and he admits he did it, and it was his fault. And, he had time to think about it in jail, and that this is 100% responsible for this, and it's his fault. I would ask you to leave him on probation. He's committed no other offenses. He's been a pretty good, other than this one thing, pretty good probation.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Nothing further to say.
All right, the court is going to grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in prison, give you credit for any time served, chapter 62 registration, no contact with the complainants. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. You do have a limited right to appeal, and that is as it relates to the allegation in the motion, not the fact that you were on probation. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Good luck to you. All right, who's here? Michael Tello or Teo? Is Tello? Oh, wow, I see people confuse me with the double L's. All right, so what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, if the court recalls, at the end of last year, I was trying to get in touch with 88 Groomer because he had been on vacation and sick. And then I found out that Mr. Groomer stepped away from prosecution trial division. And then Mr. Sanders took over that positions, and unfortunately, I think Mr. Sanders has left the office. And so that was right before the holiday break. And last week I reached out and spoke with Mr. Escobar, who was the OBPA from the carryover. And he informed me of who the new first and second chairs were, and I spoke with Mr. Garahan today. And the purpose of the reset last time was to allow me to speak with the prosecutors to see if we could come to an agreement. I understand that Mr. Garahan has not completely immersed himself in the file, which is understandable. And we would ask the court for just a little bit of time to allow Mr. Garahan to become familiar with it, so he would feel comfortable in making a decision as far as a plea offer.
All right. And I will tell everybody that I empathize and I try to sympathize. But my first day as a prosecutor, you know what ended up happening? I showed up to the 379. The files were brought down to court by Miss Ferguson over there. And you know what the judge says? Family violence, you're going to trial. This is your case. And you know what I said? Oh, which case is this? And I'm like, okay, we'll do it.
I understand.
So what I will do is we'll recall this for the week of Norma, is that a true story I just told?
Yes.
So there's no doubt.
Oh, I believe.
All right. We're gonna recall this, Ms. Ferguson. Can we recall this for the week of the 16th?
Of this month,
Yes,
the 17th, the 16th is the holiday.
yes.
Yeah.
A holiday / celebration.
That's right.
So it'll be the 7th.
All right, State, will you be able to make an offer by that time?
Yes, Your Honor, I am not fully immersed in the case, but I am familiar with the case and the extent of how many cases that the individual has. So I will be able to extend an offer by then.
All right, so we'll be back on the 17th, and at that time, the state will give you an offer. And it will be a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Is there any discovery issues still outstanding or no?
Not to our knowledge.
All right, just do the acknowledgement of discovery. If one hasn't already been done, I think it may have.
I think it has.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, I'm present for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 9877, State of Texas versus Francisco Hasso. Could our parties announce for the record? the
Yes,
state?
Travis Rodriguez for the state of Texas.
Defense. And are you Mr. Hasso?
Francisco Medina Hasso.
Is that who you are?
Yes. Yes.
And we have an interpreter here. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly, not you, sir. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you may lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record?
Vicky Cavazos Jones.
Counsel, do you speak Spanish?
I do,
And do you speak it fluently?
my first language, very fluent.
And have you been able to review all of these documents with your client in Spanish?
Yes, I have.
Mr. Hasso, all of the documents that we're going to discuss are in English. Were those documents reviewed with you in Spanish?
Yes.
And
yes,
have you, and did you understand those documents?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hasso, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state moves to proceed on count 3 of the indictment. That is a 3rd-degree felony, and waive and abandon the remaining counts.
Any objection? Mr. Hasso, did you review the document with your attorney entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions?
Yes.
Did you understand in count 3, you're charged with the offense of possession of child pornography? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand that if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea bargain agreement? If for any reason the court does not follow that agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was mentally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Hasso, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
Counsel, were you aware that your client is not a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Has he had a chance to review this plea with an immigration attorney, or did you advise him?
I advise you.
Mr. Hasso, has your client informed you of the immigration consequences of entering a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did those consequences include deportation, the denial of naturalization, and not being able to re-enter the United States?
Yes.
Did you understand the consequences of entering a plea in this cause number as it relates to your immigration status?
Yes.
And knowing those consequences, do you still wish to go forward with the plea?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 3. Punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There are no applications. The state is taking in consideration the following cause numbers: night mag number 671041, 671043, 671040, CM number 101289, and there's lifetime registration. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
It is the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Did you review the paragraph with your attorney entitled waiver of appeal paragraph? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court.
Yes.
Council, have there been any such motions?
There have been no motions.
Then Mr. Hasso, to count three, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. The state has previously tendered States Exhibits 1 and their attachments to opposing counsel. At this time, the state offers States Exhibit 1 and attachments to the court pending any objections.
Without objection.
Mr. Hasso, did you review the documents entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Strong.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Wait, yes, sir.
Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. Take in consideration NIBAG number 671041, 671043, 671040, CM number 101289, and chapter 62 registration, and no contact with minors. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Your Honor, I do have some physical dismissals to present to the court whenever the court's ready. May I approach?
Yes. And did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for coming down. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 1765, State of Texas versus Robert Bell. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Michelle Hayden for the state.
defense?
Adrian Bettis for the defendant.
Are you Mr. Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovered in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Bell, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're proceeding on the lesser included offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Bell, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on aggravated sexual assault of a child? That is a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 years to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bell, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 12 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, no applications. They will take in consideration, everyone please whisper. They will take in consideration JN 2082555. There's to be chapter 62 compliance, no contact with the complainants or any minor children. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
No objections.
Showing you what's entitled waiver of consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
No, Judge, we're requesting a PSI.
All right. We'll just need a PSI and a top evaluation. Ms. Ferguson, I need a date. All right, we'll come back on January 26th. On January 26th, I'll let you know what the court's decision is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন। হ্যাঁ
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না, দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না। আমার মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নেন, ভালো করে শিখেন। জি।
হ্যালো শেফ, হ্যালো ম্যাম, হ্যালো ম্যাম।
হ্যালো।
এটা হলো আমি করেছি কোয়েল বেগুনের কালাই টাক। আমার আঞ্চলিকতাকেই আমি ফিউশন হিসেবে এখানে তুলে ধরেছি। আর পাশে ডেজার্ট হিসেবে রেখেছি জাম্বুরা খোসার মালাই চাপিটা।
ইন্টারেস্টিং। এটা প্লেট করা কোথা থেকে শিখলেন?
আমি কমপ্লিট করার পরে যখন ঢাকাতে চাকরির প্রিপারেশনের জন্য যাই তখন ওখান থেকে 3 মাসের একটা কোর্স করেছিলাম। ওখানে আপনার ডেকোরেশন, প্লেটিং অনেক কিছু শিখাইছিল। ছোটোখাটো কিছু ওখান থেকেই শেখা হয়েছে। আর ইউটিউব, সুপার শেফ, মাস্টার শেফ, কানাডিয়ান, অস্ট্রেলিয়ান এইসব দেখেই শিখেছি। আর আপনার ফুড নিয়ে এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করতে ভালোবাসি। খাদ্যের অবশিষ্ট অংশ ফেলে দিয়ে আমরা অনেক সময় নষ্ট করি, যাতে ওইগুলো আমরা ফুড হিসেবে আবার প্লেটিং করতে পারি, সেই হিসাবে এটা আমার করা। জাম্বুরার
সেরা রাঁধুনিতে কি ফার্স্ট টাইম?
না, এবার দিয়ে আমার সেকেন্ড টাইম।
আচ্ছা।
এর আগের বার আমি এসেছিলাম আপনার ওই টিমে ছিলাম।
আপনি কিচেনে কাজ করেন না কেন? হোটেল বা রেস্টুরেন্টে কাজ করেন না?
আমি আপনার 17-18 মাস মতন কাজ করেছিলাম পাবনা রূপপুর পারমাণবিকের পাশে, মানে অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট হিসেবে ঢুকেছিলাম। পরে শেফ চলে যাওয়ার কারণে পুরো আমি হ্যান্ডেল করতাম ওইটা।
কিচেন লাইনে কাজ করতে চান?
অফকোর্স, এই জন্যই এখনো এর পিছনেই ছুটছে।
আপনার আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুড আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুডের টেস্ট অনেক ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আপনার খুব ভালো চেষ্টা ছিল আর আমরা নতুন রেসিপি দেখলাম।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
তো আমার মনে হলো আপনাকে আমরা একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেই। আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
আমি নিয়ে এসেছি প্লেন রাইস,
সর্ষে ইলিশ আর হচ্ছে একটা ডাউল রান্না বাড়িতে নর্মালি যেটা রান্না হয় আর কি, আর হচ্ছে 3 পদের ভর্তা।
এতটুকু তো এনাফ না সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার জন্য।
কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
এটা স্যার ফ্রাইড চিকেন আর ফ্রাইড রাইস।
বাসায় রান্না করেন?
জি জি।
কি ধরনের রান্না?
নর্মাল রান্নাগুলো আম্মু করে আর একটু মানে অন্যরকম রান্নাগুলো আমি করে যাই।
আম্মু তো সেরা রাজনীতি গিয়ে রান্না করে দিয়ে আসে।
না না নর্মাল রান্নাও পারি, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারবো।
একটু স্কিলটা বাড়াতে হবে। হ্যাঁ,
জি আমি নিয়ে আসছি অ্যারাবিয়ান চিকেন খাফসা।
এখানে স্টার অনিস ব্যবহার করেছো? স্টার অনিস অনেক বেশি স্ট্রং ফ্লেভার আছে।
খাপসা নিয়ে এসেছি, এটা খাপসা হয়নি।
আবার আসবে।
চিকেন ললিপপ সাথে একটু সুইটের জন্য চকলেট কেক নিয়ে এসেছি।
ললিপপের সাথে রাইস যায় না।
চিকেন ললিপপ ইজ আ স্টার্টার।
এই জিনিসগুলো অবশ্যই মাথায় রাখতে হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
শামিন কি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
আমি এটা কাঁচা পেঁপের লাড্ডু বানিয়েছি।
শামিন এটা আপনার নিজের রেসিপি?
জি।
ইটস রিয়েলি গুড। আমি খাওয়া স্টপ করতে পারছি না। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না।
আমার মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নেন, ভালো করে শিখেন।
জি
ফারজান আক্তার মিম,
জি।
কি বানিয়েছো?
পায়েস।
এত বড় প্লেটে কেন?
আসলে ডেকোরেশনের জন্য একটু বড়ই নিয়েছিলাম।
ডেকোরেশনের জন্য তো ভালো লাগছে না।
পায়েস সাধারণত এভাবে সার্ভ হয় না।
আপনার নাম বলবেন আর কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন সেটা?
আমার নাম মোহাম্মদ শাফিউল আলম, ডিশের নাম লিয়ার হ্যাভেন টিট।
এটা হ্যাভেন কোন দিক থেকে হলো?
একটা স্মুথি ভাব আসে এই জন্যে।
যে একটা বাইট দিলাম আর একদম উড়ে হ্যাভেন। আমি খেয়ে যেটা দেখলাম কেকটা খুবই ড্রাই। সরি টু সে আমি যেতে পারি নাই হ্যাভেন।
অডিশন রাউন্ডে বিচারকদের কাছে প্রতিযোগীদের রেসিপির পাশাপাশি ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন, কুকিং স্কিল, নলেজ, সেলফ কনফিডেন্স সহ বিভিন্ন বিষয়ে পরীক্ষার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়। সেই পরীক্ষায় অনেকেই বিচারকদের প্রত্যাশা পূরণ করতে পারেননি, তাই সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার স্বপ্ন তাদের এখানেই থেমে যায়।
অয়েল ফ্রি আলু পনির। এটা
পনিরটা কিভাবে বানিয়েছে?
পনিরটা এটা কেনা পনির।
তাহলে তা আলুও বাজার থেকে কেনা। তাহলে আপনার কি?
আমার রান্না রেসিপি আমার।
আমার নাম নাসরিন আক্তার মিম। আমি আজকে করেছি ভ্যানিলা কেক, সাথে আমি করেছি হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকের সাথে হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকটা এখানে কেন, মানে টাব থেকে এডিবল?
নো,
সো এটা এডিবল না। এন্ড দেন হোয়াই ডিড ইউ পুট?
এটাও এডিবল না, এটা হচ্ছে
Plastic on top.
প্রপার। হ্যাঁ
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না। দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Mình đã xong con nhím với cái màu nâu này nhé. Phần những lá mình sẽ tô bằng màu xanh. trồng cây mình cũng tô bằng màu xanh nha. Đây nữa nè. Đây là các phần cái cây nhỏ ở dưới của cái tán lá cây to nhá. Những cây cỏ nhỏ ở dưới á. Phần gốc cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nè. Thân cây. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Phần thân cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nha. Một gốc cây cổ thụ rất là to. Với tán lá này mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu xanh lá này nhá.
$15 লাখ পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই। এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না। সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি, এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আমার রেসিপির নাম হলো ভেলভেটি কোকোয়া ক্রেভিং।
জান্নাত, কি করেন আপনি?
আমার একটা অনলাইন পেজ আছে যেখানে বাসায় ফুড বানিয়ে সেটা কি বলে সেল করি। কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র থেকে কয়েকটা বেকিং এবং কুকিংয়ের উপরে সার্টিফাইড কোর্স করেছি এবং বর্তমানে এখন ডিপ্লোমা কালিনারি ম্যানেজমেন্টের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি।
কেন এত পড়াশোনা করেছেন কালিনারি নিয়ে?
নিজেকে একজন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হিসেবে দেখতে চাই।
যখন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হয়ে যাবেন, আমি লাস্ট 7 বছর ঈদে কখনো ছুটি নেইনি। সো ঈদ কমপ্লিটলি গন, হলিডেজ কমপ্লিটলি গন। ফ্যামিলি এটা রাজি হবে? ফ্যামিলি মানবে?
আমি
8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না। সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আর চাকরি যখন করেছি তখন আমার ছেলেকে আমার মা, আমার বোন ওরা হলো কি দেখাশোনা করেছে।
আপনার কেন মনে হচ্ছে যে সেরা রাঁধুনি সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেটা আপনাকে শেফ হতে সাহায্য করবে?
যারা এই কালিনারি জগতে আসতে চায় তাদের জন্য একটা সেরা প্ল্যাটফর্ম হলো সেরা রাঁধুনি। সব কিছু একটা শক্ত হাতের প্রয়োজন হয় কোনো কিছুতে সামনে আগিয়ে যেতে। তো আমার কাছে শক্ত হাত সেই সেরা রাঁধুনিটা।
শেফ আমরা কি করতে পারি বলেন?
নিয়ে যাই
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
4 বছরের অপেক্ষা।
কি নাম তোমার?
ফাতেমা খাতুন ঋতু।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
ডেজার্ট বানিয়েছি হানি সানফ্লাওয়ার। আমি এখানে বাকলাভা করছি ক্রিম চিজ দিয়ে, যেখানে আমি ক্রিম চিজ ইউজ করেছি হানি।
So this is a baklava.
বাকলাভা এবং চিজ,
Outer layer টা baklava
এবং উপরে চিজ কেক,
cheese cake and then this
দম চিকেন, আর ওইটা নান বানাইছি আমি।
এই দুটো রেসিপি থেকে যদি যে কোনো একটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়, আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে আমি একটার জন্য মার্ক করব, সেটা কি হবে?
তাহলে বাকলাভা চিজ কেক।
কেন?
বাকলাভা আমার বেকিং খুব ভালো লাগে করতে।
কয়েকটি কুইজিনের নাম বলেন।
আচ্ছা, মানে আমি ইতালিয়ান, তারপর এইভাবে বলবো কি পাস্তা, তারপর পিৎজা। ইন্ডিয়ান কুইজিনের মধ্যে আসে বিরিয়ানি, তারপর হলো বিভিন্ন ধরনের রায়তা, রাবড়ি, এগুলা। আর টার্কিশ ডেজার্ট করেছি। টার্কিশ ডেজার্টে বাকলাভা তো আসেই। থাই কুইজিনে হলো টম ইয়াম স্যুপ আছে, তারপরে হলো থাই ফ্রাইড রাইস আছে। একটু
লেটস সে আমরা আপনাকে আজকে সিলেক্ট করলাম, আপনি শোতে এসে শো জিতে গিয়েছেন,
ওকে,
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই। এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
যতটুকু হোক, ছোট হোক বা বড় হোক, যতটুকু হোক আমি করব।
যদি আজকে এখানে সুযোগ না পান তাহলে কি আপনার জার্নিটা থেমে যাবে?
না না না, অবশ্যই না, আমি আবার চেষ্টা করব।
আই লাইক দ্য স্পিরিট। আপনার ফুডের টেস্ট ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন খুশি হতে পারেন। আপনাকে যখন 15 লাখ টাকা জিতেছেন, আপনি ইমাজিন করতে বলছে আপনি অনেক খুশি হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন।
না না, এমন কিছু না। ঢাকা অবধি যাই তখন হয়তো ইমাজিন করতে পারবো যে আমি অনেকটা একটা ধাপ হলেও এগিয়ে আসতে পারছি।
ইমাজিন করেন আপনি ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা,
পেয়ে গিয়েছেন
সত্যি?
জি, চলে আসুন।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
chân thật và kiên nhẫn con mang theo gieo thiện lương muôn phương bằng cả trái tim thiên thần còn nhìn đây khắp nơi mẹ ơi. Trên trời cao con rớt xuống đây khóc được làm em bé xíu của mẹ này dịu dàng mẹ cười đón thiên thần đáng yêu.
Mình đang tô bằng cái màu đỏ nha, một cái màu đỏ tươi rất là lộng lẫy cho chú công này, với bộ lông dài.
Anh tặng mẹ yêu dấu thật nhiều cái
Mình đã tô xong cái phần đuôi là màu tím và màu đỏ nha. Mình sẽ tô đôi chân với cái màu nâu. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Tới cái phần chân là cái màu nâu nè. Bộ lông dài, bộ đuôi dài lên nó sẽ che hết cả cái phần chân của chú công này nha. Mình sẽ tô phần lông trên bằng cái màu vàng. Vàng và cam kết hợp.
আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না
On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
আমার নাম প্রীতি ইসলাম। আমি আজকে কোকোনাট রাইস রান্না করেছি। কোকোনাট রাইস উইথ গ্রিল চিকেন অ্যান্ড কোরিয়ান্ডার সস, সাথে পামকিনের আরেকটা সস দিয়েছি। ডেজার্টে দিয়েছি বাহারি মোহনভোগ।
আপনার মানে এই যে রেসিপি জি সব কিছু মিলিয়ে কি মনে হয় সেরা রাঁধুনিতে পার্টিসিপেট করার জন্য এটা দিস ইজ বেস্ট রেসিপি?
জি, আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এটা বেস্ট হবে।
প্রীতি, ফার্স্ট থিং আমি আপনাকে টেকনিক্যাল জিনিসটা বলি,
Yeah, sure.
ঠিক আছে? ইটস ভেরি ড্রাই। সেকেন্ড জিনিস হলো গিয়ে হোল রোস্ট ইজ নট দি আইডিয়াল থিং টু ডু when you're serving this at a restaurant or এরকম একটা কুকিং শোতে। You don't expect the judges or the customer এটাকে কেটে নেবে। On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
এখন একটু আমরা টেস্ট করে দেখি। আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না, ভালো, থ্যাংক ইউ। আর ডেজার্টটাও মাইল্ড, মানে মিষ্টির ব্যালেন্সটা ভালো আছে। জি জি। কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হয় কি যে যখন আমরা অডিশনে আসি তখন এতগুলো জিনিস দিয়ে আসলে অডিশন না।
আমি এনেছি কারণ আমি হচ্ছে ফুল প্ল্যাটারটাই সার্ভ করতে
ঠিক আছে,
এটা আমার ইন্টেনশন।
এতগুলো না দিয়েও আপনি শুধু একটার উপর যদি ফোকাস দিতেন
জি জি,
তাও মনে হয় আপনার
আমি
বেস্ট হতো।
সবগুলোর উপরে সমান ফোকাস দিয়েছি। বাই মিস্টেকেনলি একটু ফল্ট হয়েছে হয়তো, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা করছি খুব যত্ন করে করার। অ্যাকচুয়ালি
আসলে যত্নের ছোঁয়া এখানে আছে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এবং রেসিপির মধ্যেও আমার কাছে ভিন্নতা লেগেছে, আর কিছু টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট আছে। তো আমার মনে হয় ওইগুলো যদি একটু কারেকশন করা যায় তাহলে ইট ওয়াজ গুড।
প্রীতি, the chicken has flavor, চিকেনটা মজা, সসটাও মজা, রাইট? বাট বেসিকে প্রবলেম হয়ে গেছে। বেসিক ইজ আপনার কুকিংটাই তো ওভারকুকড।
আমাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি পোলট্রি চুজ করতে হতো মেবি এই ক্ষেত্রে।
ফার্মের মুরগি ইউজ করলে মনে হয়
পোলট্রিটা বেশি জুসি।
অফ কোর্স।
আমার এটা ফল্ট হয়েছে, এটা আমি বুঝছি।
প্রীতি, আই থিঙ্ক ওভারঅল টেস্ট ভালো আছে, অ্যান্ড আই থিঙ্ক ইটস আ গুড এফোর্ট। উই ওয়ান্ট টু গিভ ইউ আ চান্স। ঠিক আছে,
থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক
ওয়েট
ইউ।
করেন, আসেন, আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড হবে।
আমার খুবই ভালো লাগছে যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পেয়ে গেছি। আমি কিন্তু কনফিডেন্ট ছিলাম যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পাবো, আর আমি এখন অপেক্ষায় আছি নেক্সট রাউন্ডে ঢাকা যাওয়ার জন্য। আমি আশাবাদী যে আমি ঢাকা পর্যন্ত যেতে পারবো।
Mình đã tô xong quả dứa với cái màu cam nha, phần lá là màu xanh nè. Còn phần chùm nho này, đây là một chùm nho chín nha. Mình đã xong cái màu cam này rồi. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu tím nha. Màu tím nha. Đây là cái màu tím nè. Mình sẽ xếp lại cái màu của mình vào cái hộp màu này. Để cho nó đỡ chặt nha. Với những quả nho màu tím nhá, mình sẽ tô một chùm nho rất là nhiều quả nho nhỏ nha. Mình đang tô phần chùm nho với cái màu tím nhá. Một cái giỏ hoa quả gồm 4 loại quả là quả xoài, quả táo, quả cam và quả nho. Mình đang tô phần quả nho nha.